Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Got a book review for you today, and it's different than what you usually see on my channel. This is not a technical manual on how to use a certain firearm. This is not a prepper manual that teaches you how to do a bunch of different things, such as canning food in order to preserve them. As a matter of fact, this is actually a novel. Yep, a work of fiction. So, why am I presenting it on my channel? Well, not just for the heck of it. This is a post-apocalypse book, The Dog Stars by Peter Heller. Now, having read this book, I can see why it received some popularity when it came out. However, sometimes an author's timing is perfect, and Mr. Heller's timing, writing a post-apocalypse novel, was absolutely perfect, because this book came out in 2012. That's right, Y2K. Do I think The Dog Stars would have been as popular as a post-apocalypse book if it came out several years before or after 2012? No, I don't think it would have been as popular. I think it would have enjoyed some popularity, though. So, yeah, perfect timing. The book itself is worth reading because it is one of the most realistic post-apocalypse books you will find out there, or at least I've found out there. Now, I do tend to enjoy the genre, but oh wow. I mean, there are some authors who they are overall fantastic at writing, but they usually get certain things wrong, mostly mentality. Now, granted, in a horrific situation, there will be some individuals who that situation will bring out the absolute best in them. You will see their humanity come straight to the surface. However, basic human psychology, something like a post-apocalypse event where there are few survivors left, limited resources, and people willing to kill for those resources when during civilized time they definitely wouldn't have bothered. Well, yeah, basic human psychology, a lot of authors who write post-apocalypse novels, they get it wrong. Yeah, because most people, an event like that doesn't go away and just continues and continues until years or decades go by and those people end up dead, probably not due to natural causes, or those characters end up dead. I mean, something like a post-apocalypse is going to bring out the worst in people, most people. Absolutely. Let's be realistic about that. Human beings are not noble, wonderful, caring people. Individual human beings are, but as a whole, general population, no. And I'm sorry, but if you're holding on to that absolutely silly, childish belief that most people deep down inside are basically good, well, let me ask you this. Why is it that if most people are basically good deep down inside, why is it that police departments have a homicide squad made up of detectives? Why? Pick any major city in the freaking world. Police departments within that city, a homicide squad, an entire squad. Think about it. If people were basically good deep down inside, homicides would be so rare that the homicide squad would be made up of two elderly police detectives 2 or 3 years away from retirement in a tiny room, sharing one desk, sitting on opposite sides of each other, and any time there's a report of a suspicious death, they would go out, they would do an initial investigation, and 999 times out of 1,000, it would be what those detectives suspected. A suspicious homicide, possibly? Oh no, this was an accidental death. Oh, this wasn't a homicide either. This person had an unknown medical condition and they passed away. But it looked a little suspicious. Oh, this person couldn't deal with life anymore, but they forgot to leave a note or just didn't give a damn about leaving a note, and they took themselves out of this world. Yeah. All of these suspicious deaths. You got two elderly police detectives with very little experience investigating homicides. They go, they check it out. Yeah. Unknown medical condition. Person took themselves out of this world, didn't bother leaving a note. Or, oh, this is an accident, but it didn't look like an accident at first. It looked suspicious. And that would be it. But that's not it, is it? No. If people were basically good deep down inside, homicides would be so rare that your homicide squad in any given city would consist of two elderly detectives. It doesn't, does it? No. And that's one of the things I really love about this book. It treats humanity accurately. Basic human psychology. None of this BS about, oh, most people deep down inside are basically good. No, screw that. That is a myth. That is fiction. That is more fiction than this fictional book, because this book is grounded in reality, which is something a lot of other authors, they screw up. I was reading one rather popular post-apocalypse book. It was entertaining. It contained a lot of useful information, and I'll be upfront, a lot more than this book does. But yeah, there was a lot of useful information. Some of it was action packed, but there was a scenario in the book in which a character went out, put their life at risk, and then when that character talked about it with another character, he said, well, I had to do it. It was a matter of honor. Honor? Excuse me? Are you kidding me? No, no. I mean, if you have a scenario in which a post apocalypse survivor saves a young woman from being brutalized, realistically, what's his motivation? Oh, I had to save her. It was a matter of honor. Or, well, I had to save her because, yeah, look at her. She's got a really nice body, and she'd probably be grateful enough to hold that body against mine. And who knows? Maybe she's a good cook. We could use one at our camp. That's why I saved her. You see what I'm talking about? Reality, realistic human psychology. This book absolutely takes that into account. A lot of others simply do not. Not everyone who saves someone does it for noble reasons or the best of intentions. You know, you have a lot of people out there, even in normal society, who will help you not out of the goodness of their heart, but because doing so will potentially benefit them. So they do it. And again, this book takes that into account. Let me give you a quick summary. It mainly focuses on two male survivors. They do not practice an alternative lifestyle. And politically, philosophically, they are on opposite ends of the spectrum. One of them is a hardcore prepper slash survivalist. The other one, whom the book mainly focuses on, is more liberal, not hardcore at all, but he doesn't have a problem shooting someone who threatens his life. And he's a pilot. No, you're not going to see something unrealistic like him fueling up a Boeing 747 and flying off to somewhere safe. Oh, no zombies in this book. Let's face it, even The Walking Dead is like human beings are the most dangerous monsters. Well, fair enough. If human beings are the most dangerous ones, why bother with zombies? This book, no zombies. And honestly, it does not need it. There's that grounded in reality thing again. But yeah, so these two guys, they have this weird platonic relationship. And they depend on each other to keep their home base, their compound safe, because there are still plenty of people out there, and man is definitely the most dangerous creature running around. A lot of people, they will avoid situations where, oh, that place over there, there's currently people there, and they're probably armed just like everyone is now. Yeah, let's let's stay away from there. Oh, hold on. It looks like they have stuff we want, food, weapons. We need to make a coordinated attack. Again, reality. That's what I like about this book. Now, it's not super action-packed. There are a few very dramatic scenes, but there are parts of the book in between those scenes, scenarios that are actually, a bit boring, if I'm honest. A bit boring, but hey, again, grounded in reality. Even a post-apocalypse reality is not going to be constant action, constant firefights, constant drama, constant violence. It's just not going to be there. Because first of all, there's not enough people left on the planet for that. And most of the ammunition got used up during the apocalypse. So now, for a lot of individuals, it's pretty much non-existent, except for this one particular survivalist prepper who leans more than a bit to the right, and his buddy, the airline pilot, who has access to a plane and is able to fly around and check to see if there are any potential threats in the nearby area that might be coming towards their compound. And the pilot, whom the book mainly focuses on, definitely leans quite a bit to the left. So you have two individuals who, if the world was still normal, would never interact with each other, never get along with each other, wouldn't do any of that. But in a post-apocalypse world, they need each other for survival. They both know it. So they both tolerate each other's less than desirable quirks and personality traits. Now, at one point in time, the pilot decides, hey, I want to go out and find people. There's got to be friendly people. Like, not everyone we encounter we should kill immediately because they're a threat. Although most of the time, that's the situation in the book. But the pilot, like I said, he leans to the left and he thinks that there are still good people out there. So one day he gathers up some supplies and he tells his buddy, hey, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to try to see if I can find good people. I need to do this. And his buddy really doesn't want him to leave, not because he likes him, but because, okay, there goes my air support. But the pilot leaves, and of course, he does encounter people, and it's rather interesting whom he encounters. And obviously, there are other encounters in the book, and again, grounded in reality, basic human psychology of what most of the survivors of an apocalypse would be like post-apocalypse. So just for that, just for the fact that it's so grounded in reality, this book is worth reading. Although I will say there are parts of the book I did not like at all. There are sections of the book which can, unfortunately, best be described as boring. And there's even, a handful of sections that can best be described as silly. It's like, oh, come on. But for the most part, grounded in reality. The encounters that the pilot has with other people is just, I mean, it's a man who's done things that he didn't want to do, but he realizes that, hey, if I don't do this, I'm not going to survive. And I want to survive. So sorry, if you threaten me, if it's either me or you, yeah, it's going to be you who doesn't see the sunrise the next morning. So this is someone who wants to hold on to his humanity, but he realizes, well, that's a bit of a silly notion, but let me still try to see if I can find good people. Like, I have to try. And that's his motivation in the book. And unlike other post-apocalypse novels, where you can learn a lot about prepping, you can learn a lot about related subjects, you're not going to learn a whole lot from this particular novel. But again, the fact that it is grounded in reality, I think it's worth reading, and you will learn a couple of things. So this gets a recommendation. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please stay safe out there. Thankfully, it's not a post-apocalypse, but it's still dangerous. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.